Okay, so today we will discuss standard language. Okay, so the definition I discussed a few moments ago, that is okay, so standard language is what? So our definition is given here. A national language should be standardized to get its formality. Standard language is certainly one of the tribal languages, a group of people of the same race and with the same customs, language and religion. Okay, so that means it creates a sense of unity. Okay, so আমরা যদি একটা definition লিখি standard So as I said before, standard language cut across regional differences and it creates sense of unity, and then it establishes institutionalized norm, and the form or the variety can be used in mass media and teaching. So in case of media and teaching, we need to use a standard variety which is accepted by all the people of the society. Feel free to use the language. Okay, so standard language refer to prestige variety of language. So why does it called prestige variety? Because it is used by the people of all class. The people of higher class and also lower class can use the language. Okay. Okay, so it mentions a prestige variety of language used within So have you got the statement? Standard language refers to prestige variety used within a speech community. Okay, so what does it do? What does standard language do? Okay, so at first is a variety which okay, so please note down my definition. Okay, so you can combine the definition from the slide and my definition. Okay, so you can combine the both and write your own. Okay. So cut across regional varieties. Okay, so how does it create unity among language communities? By sheltering all the people under one umbrella. Okay, so that means all the people of the society use the same variety. Okay, okay, so the second characteristics is institutionalized norm. So what is norm? Norm means custom. Okay. So norm means which actions or customs is used by all the people in the society. So standard language acts as an institutionalized norm, and this language can be used in media and teaching. Okay. So in case of teaching a language, so you need to use the standard version of this language, otherwise all people will not understand your outcome or your communication. Okay. So in that case, these two definitions can be combined with the definition on the slide. Okay. So what is written in the slide? A language standardization is the process in which the language is standardized for its linguistic forms as well as social communicative functions of language. A language becomes standard through a process of standardization. A process generally needs some well prepared and systematic steps and procedures to reach it. So the definition is elaborated here. Okay. Okay, so the functions of standard language and the advantages and disadvantages all are same. So what is the advantages of standard language? Okay, advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so before going to that, we should discuss the features. Okay. So what are the features of standard language? Okay. So it is the speech of educated people. Okay. Also educated people and also the people who don't know the proper language. So they also use the standard variety to communicate to the whole people. Okay. So another feature of standard language is it goes through a process, 4 process. So we will discuss the process later, I think on the next class or after my discussion. Okay, so there are 4 processes to make a language standard. At first we select a language. Okay, after the selection we codify the language, so that is called codification. Selection, codification, then elaboration of function, then acceptance. Okay, so at first we need to select several languages. Okay, so the language 1, language 2, language 3, 4. So after selecting all the language varieties, we need to codify which language should be prioritized in our society or should be accepted by all people living in the society. Okay, so that is called codification. So after codifying a language, we need to elaborate the function. Okay, so elaboration means we need to write books, dictionaries. So without a dictionary of the language, people will not understand the synonyms, antonyms, right? So we need to elaborate the function. Function means grammatical structure, sentence structure, meanings. It can be synonym, antonym, pronunciation. So that is the elaboration of function. And then at the end we need to discuss the acceptability. So how do people accepting the language? Okay, so what is the acceptance rate? So if the acceptance rate is high, then the language can be standard. Okay, so what are the processes? How many processes are there? 4. So at first selection, then codification, then elaboration of function, then acceptance. Okay, so if people cannot accept the meaning, or if people cannot communicate using the language, so is that language be considered as standard? No. Okay, Okay, so have you finished writing this? Okay, any confusion about the definition of standard language? I will discuss the process again, no worries, but any question about the definition? Okay, now we will talk about the features. So in the definition, we already talked about I think 2 or 3 features, but there are another features. Okay, so which are such as I said before, speech. It is the speech of educated people and also mass people. So both groups of people use the language as their daily communication. Okay, then legal documents and constitution are written in this language. Okay, so we can say all the official documents signed by government or the constitution. So have you read the constitution, Bengali constitution? Few times. Okay, the language of constitution is very simple and understandable. Why? It is written in the standard language. It is not like Chorjapod, okay, then Michael Madhusudan Dotto's okay. Then another books which is Betal Pongcho Bingshoti. So these languages are too much hard, too much critical for people to understand. Okay. So using the standard language, we write our assignments, also presentation, and also for the governments they write legal documents, constitution using the standard language. Okay. And also it is uses as office work, law, courts and formal cases. Okay, so all the formal activities are done using the standard language or standard variety. Okay, so another feature is foreigners are taught in this language. So if a foreigner comes in our country, so what should we teach them? Regional accent or standard Bangla? Standard Bangla. So if a foreigner wants to learn a language, so we should at first taught them standard language. Okay, so that is called standard Bangla. Okay, so religious texts are translated into this language. So I think we have several translations of Quran, right? So all the translations are written in standard Bangla, not regional accent or regional variety. Okay, so all the religious books, hadiths or other religious texts, so all are written in this language or standard language. Okay, so these are the common features of standard language. Okay, so grammar and spelling of this language are taught in school. Okay, so in the school, I think hopefully primary school or higher secondary school, if the grammar is taught here, the form is standard. Okay, standard Bangla. So as far we gone through our Bengali books, Bangla grammar, Bangla Bhasha Bhakaran, right? There are several books. Okay, so all these books are written in standard language, your understandable language. So okay, so that are the features of standard language. Okay. Okay, so I think now the advantages and disadvantages are clear. Okay, so can you mention some advantages by your own? You can say Bangla if you want. Okay, so the advantages is having a common mutually comprehensible language unifies the members of community. So already I discussed it in the definition, right? Create a sense of unity. Okay, So it creates a comprehensible language in unity in the members of a community. Also, it serves as a model for everyone in the community to agree upon in order to communicate. So it creates a language model for everyone. So sometimes people become hesitate to the decision that which language should we use to communicate to the every member of the society. So that actually this standard language actually removes the confusion and set an example of a model for everyone in the society. Okay? And then unity, and the another advantages is the last one is that it is easier to teach in schools and can be employed to reflect and symbolize some kind of identity, and can also be used to give prestige to speakers, and also makes the language easier to teach in schools. Okay. So the 4th point is language model, unifier of people, the identity, and the practical in teaching. So these 4 are the advantages of standard language. So advantages. So if I remove the word advantage and set benefits instead of that, does that mean same? Benefits and advantages, both meaning are same. Both means the same. Okay, so what can be the disadvantages? So by this far we learned some advantages, some features. So what are the advantages? Model, unifier of language, and then practical in teaching, and what is the third one? The identity. Okay, so it creates the identity, unifier of language, it serves as a model, and practical in teaching. So these 4, all these 4 are the advantages, and then disadvantages is create a sense of elitism among the speakers of the standard and a feeling of inferiority in those who continue to use the non-standard form. Okay, so sometimes there are some feelings activated in our mind, such as language ego. Okay, so do you know what is language ego? What do you mean by ego? So if your ego works, you don't want to refrain a habit. Okay, so sometimes you say like that, I will not change my way, I will run by my own. Okay, or I will lead my life by my own wish. Okay, so that is called ego. So in case of language ego, you don't want to restrict your own mother tongue, or you don't want to sacrifice your mother tongue or the language one or the regional language. So that is called language ego. So if language ego is become so powerful, you don't want to use in that case you don't want to use the standard language. Okay, so that is why it creates a sense of elitism, and also create a feelings of inferiority in those who don't want to use the standard language. So sometimes we disqualify people for using the regional variety. Okay, sometimes we saw in the interview in the Facebook or YouTube that there are so many people who are disqualified because of their regional accent or regional variety. So they don't want to use the standard version. So that's why it creates a class in the society, higher class, lower class. Okay, so that is the disadvantages. Okay, so the second statement I think is same as the first one. It creates an inferiority complex among the low status speakers, and also forces parents to who wish for their children to be accepted by the dominant group to conform to the standard variety, possibly the neglecting the language and the culture. So that is the disadvantages of standard language. Okay, so it forces the parents to wish for their children to be accepted by the dominant group. So Actually, it creates class hierarchy and also dissatisfaction between children and parents. Okay, so that are the disadvantages. Okay, I think my lecture is up to that today.